Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends. Welcome back to the latest transfer episode. We have some updates for you now. Yesterday night it was pretty quiet. There was not something to be reported about. Today, even in the morning, there was not something going on. Just that some teams will be heading towards their pre-season tours. Manchester United are on their way, and it seems that now we are entering into a phase where pre-season tours will start. Many teams will be starting their pre-season camps. They'll be playing some of friendlies, and the team will kind of have some kind of ins, some kind of outs. The transfer stories are gonna be start growing up more and more. Most of the players will be coming back from their holidays. They'll be reporting back to their teams, and we will see those glimpses of training. We'll see those glimpses of players working together in order to prepare for the new season. So in that regard, the transfer stories are gonna little bit, they're going to go up, it's going to amp up as well. Now some of the clubs, we do know that they have done the bulk of their transfer work just before this preseason episode, and it seems that most of the clubs, they are still working on many of names that they want to get onto. They want to buy those players. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start now with regarding to Marseille have an opening bid to sign Jonathan Klaus from Lens, and it has been reported that they are trying to get him. Remember, they got Guendouzi from Arsenal, so they're working really hard to improve their team, and that is what they're doing in Ligue 1. Whereas Rennes are kind of speaking to Samuel Umtiti from Barcelona. They want to sign him, so let's see what happens. The negotiations are still going on, and Barcelona are very willing to sell him. They want to basically get rid of most of the players. They've already let go of Lenglet, and they want to get Jules Koundé. Remember, guys, they want to get rid of the players first. There is an issue with Piqué as well. So let's see how that one goes. So far, this is what's happening. And Trincao, who played in Wolves, returned back to Barcelona. He is going to Sporting, and let's see what happens with that one. Now, we do know that Brentford have signed Aaron Hickey for 22 million euro, and it's a total fee including the add-ons. So he has signed his long-term deal, and the medical was completed as well. So Brentford moving quickly in the transfer market. Now we're going to go towards Chelsea. We're going to stay in West London. Now Chelsea are closing on Raheem Sterling deal. Man City, they have agreed a 45 million pounds, similar as to Gabriel Jesus, and the final approval is just going to happen. They're going to announce it, both Chelsea as well as Manchester City. Remember, Raheem Sterling played for Pep Guardiola, and he won so many trophies. Thomas Tuchel thinks that he's going to be a brilliant addition to the squad, and remember, they are looking to sell the likes of Timo Werner, Pulisic as well. I'll come back to Pulisic a little bit later, but that is what Chelsea are trying to do. They are trying to rebuild the squad again under the new ownership. And while we're discussing about Chelsea, we will come to the central defense. Remember, Rudiger and Christensen have left Chelsea. Rudiger to Real Madrid, whereas Christensen has signed for Barcelona. So in other words, you could say it's only Thiago Silva who is the known defender, but he's 37 years of age, and it seems that Chelsea are kind of looking into the central defense area pretty strongly. The name which has come up front, to which it seems that it's going to be a concrete offer being made in few days, is going to be for Nathan Ake of Manchester City. Remember, Nathan Ake played for Chelsea's academy, and he will be looking forward to head back to his old club. Now he's keen on the move. Personal terms 100% are agreed. Nathan Ake knows that in City it's going to be Ruben Diaz as well as Laporte who are going to be the forefront, and then Stones is also there. He might not get that much of a play time, so it's better to head towards Chelsea, where he's going to get that opportunity, where he'll be the, in terms of an important selection, he can play on the left centre back position. So he'll be looking very much forward to join his old club. Personal terms 100% are agreed. So it's all about the fee. The fee which has been reported is around 40 million euros. So let's see if Manchester City would be willing to sell him. I think they will, and they would want to go into the transfer market and see what can they find themselves. AC Milan are preparing a new official bid for Charles de Catalare as a priority target. We have told you guys that they had an offer for him, and it seems that Club Brugge wanted to sell him for 30 million euros, but issue at hand is AC Milan are offering just 20 million euros. There might be some sort of compromise, and we will see Charles moving to AC Milan. Now, the reports have also come in that there is an sort of agreement for Renato Sanchez with AC Milan, with Lille. The fee has been agreed, so that PSG talks have somehow has been, you could say there were like strong reports coming in that he might be joining PSG, but it seems that it won't happen, and he will join AC Milan. So if AC Milan get the likes of Charles de Catalare as well as Renato Sanchez and David Origi, that's going to be a strong addition, and AC Milan are building truly for the future. So let's see what happens in that front. Now, we did report to you about Aribo signing for Southampton, 6 million plus add-ons. In total, it will be a 10 million package. So the medical is completed, so a permanent deal over there for Southampton. Now, we are heading towards another news in which we're going to talk about Barcelona. We are going to talk about a little bit about Chelsea, and we're going to talk about Manchester United. So we'll start with Barcelona. Now, the reason Barcelona is in so many talks is due to the fact that they have got so many deals that they're working upon. Now, why is Barcelona center of attention is due to the fact that they are financially in a very bad position. Financially, they cannot make those moves which they used to make, like specifically bidding 100 million plus euros for Ousmane Dembele, 140 million for Coutinho, 100 million for Griezmann. They can't seem to be making those kind of moves anymore. Now, what is happening is that they are in a real problem. They have a lot of debt. Their previous administration wasn't good enough. Now, the current administration, whose president is Laporte, he is trying behind the scenes to get Barcelona into some kind of financial contracts where he can try to raise some kind of capital in which they could pay those debts and somehow make sure that the club do not go into bankruptcy. And that is the reason why they are trying to see if they can sell some of their assets, try to get rid of the players who are really taking those high wages. They are trying to get rid of the players. Last season they did so with quite efficiently. They let go of Luis Suarez, they let go of Lionel Messi. You know, those big earners have left the club, but there are still some current players who are taking high wages, and they are quite high earners. One of them is Frenkie de Jong, who has been strongly linked to Manchester United. Now, the issue at hand is that Frenkie de Jong is owed some of the wages from Barcelona, and it seems that the Barcelona, they are looking at the clubs who are interested in him, that if they are willing to pay more, so with that amount which they're going to pay more, they're going to pay part of that to the player's salary, and then the player can leave the club. It seems that's what's happening right now. That is why they want other clubs to come in and have that kind of high bidding war. You do know that Manchester United have been talking to Barcelona since April. Now Chelsea, since last 3 or 4 days, they have come into the picture. They have been speaking to Frenkie de Jong people. They want Frenkie de Jong. They are speaking to Barcelona about Frenkie de Jong. Now, Chelsea are willing to offer the same amount what United are offering. They're not going to pay more, and they're not going to resolve what Barcelona are currently facing financially. And indirectly, they do understand that they will be helping Barcelona, but they don't want to do that. They're not going to pay over the odds for Frenkie de Jong. So Frenkie de Jong is waiting quite patiently. He was offered by Barcelona to reduce his wages, but he has refused to do so. He thinks that he is in his prime. He thinks that he should be valued as an important player. That doesn't mean that he should be reducing his wages, but Barcelona think that he is surplus to what do they require. They have got the likes of Pedri and Gavi. That is the reason why they want to get rid of Frenkie de Jong. They want to sell him for a good amount of money, at least to what they invested in him when they bought him from Ajax. So Manchester United are still in talks with Barcelona. Erik ten Hag is still in talks with Frenkie de Jong. somehow there are very different kind of reports coming in that the player himself would want to play for Chelsea because they're in the Champions League. Sometimes the reports comes in that he has a strong relationship with Erik ten Hag. He wants to play for Erik ten Hag. Now those two reports are quite, you could say, contradicting. What the reality or the truth is, only the player and the agent and the clubs would know. But as far as it seems, I think that Frankie de Jong would require high wages, and Chelsea and Manchester United both could offer him that. But let's see what Barcelona do first, because it's their player. Would they be willing to accept that the fee United are offering, similar to Chelsea? So let's see what happens to that. Remember, Frankie de Jong is the primary target for Erik ten Hag, and Erik ten Hag thinks that he is a player to which United should be built around. We did heard about Erik ten Hag reporting, saying that he has put strict rules in which he has said that they're going to be not allowing players to come in late for the training. They're not going to allow players to let down the law. That means like having their own diet, having their own kind of thing which they used to do previously in the previous administrations. They will have to stop doing that. They will work according to Erik ten Hag, and Erik ten Hag has laid down the law. So Erik ten Hag is making a lot of changes in the background. He wants this United to be as efficient as his philosophy is, as he wants his team to play. We do remember what he has done at Ajax. He has made that team in a very promising one. They were all young players. Remember that Champions League run in 18-19 season, to which we remember of young De Ligt and young Frankie de Jong were part of that. So he wants to create that kind of atmosphere, and for that United players are going to be really having those strict discipline. So let's see what happens going forward. Now regarding Eriksen, he will be having his medicals done. Everything is agreed between the player and the club. It's just a matter of some medical examinations, because we do remember of his health history. We do remember what happened in Euro 2020 tournament, which happened in 2021. He had a cardiac arrest, to which United are a little bit cautious about, because they want to make a thorough test. They do know that he has played for Brentford, he has played for his national team again, but still they would want to have thorough checks, and they want to make sure that the player can really play. So that is what's holding right now. The majority of the players, the squad has left for the pre-season tour, and it seems that Eriksen will be joining them a little bit late. And Malacia has already signed with United. He's already on the pre-season tour, so it will be Malacia as well as Eriksen. I seem to think that Frankie de Jong deal will be done, and once that is done, Frankie de Jong, we're going to come back to United, but we're going to go back to Barcelona. Once Frankie de Jong is done, Barcelona will get that money. Barcelona will then speak to Lewandowski as well as Bayern Munich. They will try to do that deal first and foremost. But then the issue comes at hand is with Ousmane Dembele, because the news have been coming in. The contract has been agreed between Dembele and Barcelona, but Barcelona now have to make a decision, because they're also speaking to Rafinha with Leeds United. Now Chelsea have offered 60 million, which Leeds United accepted. Barcelona offer is a little bit less of that to what Chelsea has offered. Now Barcelona have to make a decision that they want to go with Dembele or they want to go with Rafinha. It all depends on how much amount of money do they have. If they ask Xavi what he would prefer, it's for sure that he would ask for both of the players. But if Barcelona are cash strapped, they can't move freely for both of them, then it will depend on the choice of what Xavi thinks. Would he want to keep Ousmane Dembele, or would he want to sign Rafinha? Now I think as far as the talent is concerned, Ousmane Dembele is much more talented than Rafinha. He is more skillful than Rafinha, but the issue back again is with his injuries. He is more injury oriented. He doesn't play majority of the games in the season. He is injured quite oftenly, and that will play in Xavi's head. He will see that if he wants consistency or he wants a player for a short burst of time, would produce that kind of skill level and would give him that in return. But that's Xavi's choice and the Barcelona as a whole club. So we'll see what do Barcelona decide on that front. Going forward, Barcelona are also in talks with Jules Koundé. Now it seems that the reason they are getting rid of Umtiti, Lenglet and they want to also get rid of PK is due to the fact that they want to go for Jules Koundé. Jules Koundé was reported around 50 million. Remember, Chelsea were in talks with Sevilla regarding Jules Koundé. They are looking for the defender themselves. Now, Chelsea have been reported in talks with Juventus regarding De Ligt. Maybe Thomas Tuchel rates him more rather than Jules Koundé, because Jules Koundé is of 5'10". De Ligt is 6'2". So that might be the reason that Thomas Tuchel needs somebody strong in Chelsea's defense who has a loud voice, who could make that defense a little bit, you could say, an authority as it used to be in the days of John Terry and Carvalho. So Thomas Tuchel wants a player like De Ligt, but if De Ligt is tilted towards Bayern Munich, then Chelsea would come back to Jules Koundé. They're already working on Nathan Ake, as I've reported earlier. So in that regards, Barcelona will have to move quickly, and the player himself, Jules Koundé, knows that Barcelona first priority is to get Lewandowski, second one is Rafinha or Dembele, and then at the third position is going to be Jules Koundé. So he knows that, he understands that. So might be the fact that maybe Chelsea do come in for him and he opts to sign for Chelsea, as they were very interested in him for a long time. Now heading back to Barcelona, they are also in a way thinking about Bernardo Silva, but due to the fact that they owe so many wages to their players right now currently in the team, it might be impossible to go for Bernardo Silva, as Manchester City wouldn't want to sell him for less, and I do know for sure that they would want to keep Bernardo Silva for one more season. So let's see how that one goes in that front. Now coming back to Manchester United, Manchester United are right now also speaking to Lisandro Martinez. They are also speaking to Ajax. They have made a bid of 50 million euros. It's pretty sure that Ajax are willing to let him go. Now there was one other interesting story which came up regarding strikers. I'll just come to that a little bit later. But if Ajax are willing to sell Lisandro Martinez, what will Arsenal do? Will Arsenal come back with a new bid? Will they try to counter Manchester United bid? We haven't seen any evidence which has been reported in the social media or on any other media platform. It seems that Arsenal are looking at this in a way that they're not going to offer more money to which they offered for the last time. So they're going to see how this deal goes through. Now for United, there's an element that if there's a choice between De Ligt and Lisandro Martinez, I'm sure that Erik ten Hag would go for De Ligt, but De Ligt has made himself clear that he wants to join Bayern Munich rather than Manchester United. So Erik ten Hag can't do much over there. He can talk to the player, but he cannot convince him to come to United if the player himself feels that he wants to play for Bayern Munich. So it seems that De Ligt is already thinking about Bayern Munich only, and for that reason I think that Erik ten Hag wants to go for Lisandro Martinez. Now it was suggested that in the media that Pau Torres was one of the targets made by the Manchester United recruitment team. When they showed it to Erik ten Hag, Erik ten Hag gave them a suggestion that it would be better to go for Lisandro Martinez, because he has played with him at Ajax, and the way he wants to implement his tactics, it would be best to get the likes of Lisandro Martinez, who could really implement that on the playing pitch, and the other players could follow his example and they would learn of him. So that is what he's trying to do right now. He's trying to get a player in every position to which United players could learn from and understand what Erik ten Hag football is all about. Now coming to another target of United is of strikers. We do know that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave. Now with Cristiano Ronaldo, who has asked to leave Manchester United, United have themselves started to look for strikers. They have been heavily linked with Dybala, but there's an issue with his injury and stuff. But his people are speaking to United. Is he an Erik ten Hag target? We do not know of that yet. We'll find out about that later. Maybe in the media somebody will report what does Erik ten Hag thinks about Dybala. But there has been another name, which is Robbie, who plays for RB Leipzig, who has been linked with Ajax. He has been straight away linked with Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag is working behind the scenes to get him, and he thinks he could be that number 9, which United are looking for in case if Cristiano Ronaldo leaves. His valuation is around 20 million euros. So we'll see if Robbie will be leaving Leipzig. Will he join Ajax or will he join Manchester United? So let's see what happens on that front. There was another news which came in that Erik ten Hag will ruin his legacy at Ajax if he goes for more of his ex-players. Now, as far as I can think, that Ajax are a selling club. They have done this every season. They have sold their players to many other clubs. They sold Hakim Ziyech to Chelsea. They sold De Ligt to Juventus. They sold Frankie de Jong to Barcelona. And suddenly, somehow, if Manchester United are coming in, there is some sort of an issue. Don't think so. It's about that. Ajax will always make money on those players. They always rebuild themselves. They have so many talented players in their academy, and it's not that they're selling them for free. They're getting a good amount of money in return. So for that reason, that news, you could say that is crap. Is just what Ajax are trying to do over here is they're just trying to raise the valuations of the players they have in their team, such as Anthony, such as Lisandro Martinez. They're just asking for more money. That's what this is. This is what the tactics is all about. This is what happens in the real world, in the real financial world. That is what Ajax are trying to do. They are a selling club. They have never ever kept a player to which they think there's a great value in him, which would amount in return of trophies. If that was the case, then Frankie de Jong or De Ligt or Hakim Ziyech wouldn't have left Ajax. They would have been still playing for Ajax. So that is the reason why. Remember, they're going for Bergwijn. They paid 30 million euros. If they are able to pay 30 million euros to Tottenham, is due to the fact that they're selling their players for high salaries or for high valuations. So that is the reason. This report, you could say that it's just a money making tactic. That's what it is. They're always a selling club. They will sell their players. Now Manchester United, they want to get Anthony. I think Anthony will be the last piece of puzzle. They want to make sure, United want to make sure that they get Frankie de Jong. Eriksen will be done. Once after that, they will go for that attacker, and they'll sign Lisandro Martinez, and then they will go for Anthony. Whereas they'll make more sales. They have made buy on available on the market, such as Jones, Tuanzebe, as well as Brandon Williams. So they're going to raise some cash as well. Remember, Dean Henderson has left on loan. So let's see what Manchester United are able to do in that regard. So folks, I want to thank you very much for joining and tuning in. Hopefully this episode is a little bit bigger because I wasn't able to tune in even the morning. So I'll be coming in the evening a little bit later. So I just wanted to make this afternoon episode. Hopefully you would have loved today's one. Please do subscribe to the channel. Press that like button, and hopefully I will see you soon in the evening where there will be more build up for the news, and you will be seeing what has been reported throughout the day. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and have a nice one. Take care. Bye bye. See you in the evening session. Thank you very much. Bye.